So Chris, tell me what you know about active choice.
I met a guy, interestingly, about 2 weeks ago, and he told me a really interesting story about something that happened to him 15 years ago when he was in the States travelling with his family. He went to a soccer game and was just having sort of a tourist experience, and he observed this all-American dad come back to his family with 2 Coke and 2 Sprite in one of those carrying trays. And he said to his son, "What do you want, son, Coke or Sprite?" And apparently the kid did as many kids would. He went, "Gee, Dad, whatever." And then the father stuck with it and said, "No, son, you need to make a choice, Coke or Sprite." Meanwhile, this chap I met was just off to the distance, just watching and intrigued by this, because he noticed that the dad was just deciding to make this a life lesson. And then he heard the dad go on. He said, "Son, this is not, am I going to drive at 100 miles an hour or 70 miles an hour, or can I make the leap between these 2 buildings and can I make it? This is just a simple life choice. Do you want Coke or Sprite?" And eventually the kid chose. And of course, a lot of people watching might think, "Oh, gee, Dad, he's off on one today." But actually, it's just a really interesting lesson that Kevin really took on board. It's whatever you do, make a choice. Don't be passive. Now, someone very close to me was also listening to this chat. And she said, "I do that all the time. If I go for a coffee with friends, I'll often be sat there whilst they're saying to me, 'What cake would you like?' And I end up saying, 'Dunno, you choose.' And there's just this habit that we all have, if we're not careful, of just being passive." Just moving away from this story slightly, it's about the adage, control your destiny or others will control it for you. Make a choice. Do not be passive. The challenge is, if you're not careful, you'll spend, if you make no decisions in the small choices, the knock-on effect is you're very likely to be passive during the bigger, more epic life choices too. So make sure you control your destiny, make a choice, Coke or Sprite.